everyone, it's time for Superman 3. What can I say about this movie? Besides the fact that it has Richard frickin' Pryor in it. I mean, honestly, why did Richard Pryor have to be in this movie? Why? Of course, there's another question I have to ask about this movie. Why is there less Lois Lane and more Lana Lang? Why? I mean, I know we saw just a little bit of her in the first movie, but of course, we just had to bring back the character because, you know, she was Clark Kent's high school sweetheart, I guess, and just had to bring the character back. Why? Because if you didn't see enough of any character in the first two films, we just have to bring it back in the third one. And another thing, why is there no Lex Luthor in this movie? Why? If it's gonna be a Superman movie, you need to have Lex freaking Luthor. You need to. It is nuts. You cannot call a movie Superman 3 and just have no Lex Luthor. Honestly. I mean, seriously. It's like making a Batman movie and yet the villain is like not a Batman villain that we all know. Like the Joker or the Riddler or heck, even Mr. Freeze. I mean, honestly. But no. They just had to make a movie that just completely just boggles my mind as to why they made this movie. I mean, seriously. In my opinion, Superman 4 should have actually been Superman 3. And they just should have ended with that. They should have eliminated Richard Pryor. They should have gotten rid of whoever the villain was. I mean, seriously, the whole plot of the movie is just so convoluted and messed up. It's just filled with so many flaws that I've seen the movie enough times to know the flaws in this movie. I mean, honestly. I mean, yeah, the whole thing with Clark going to his high school reunion in Smallville was actually pretty cool, and I enjoyed it, no offense. But still, whatever the heck, it just, this movie just ticked me off. Main reason, not enough Lois Lane and zero Lex Luthor. That's right, zero Lex Luthor. I mean, seriously, what was Gene Hackman doing before they decided to make this movie? Was he making another movie? I don't know. I know I'm kind of sounding like a nostalgic critic right now, but still. If we're gonna make a Superman movie, you need Lex Luthor. Done deal, that's it. I mean, yeah, I know some comic book movies have more than one villain. I mean, in Batman Returns, you had two villains. You had Catwoman and the Penguin. Batman Forever, you had the Riddler and you had Two-Face. Batman and Robin, you had Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. But in the original Tim Burton Batman movie, you had one villain and that was the Joker. That's it. And of course, thankfully they brought in the Joker again in Chris Nolan's Dark Knight, who was played by the late great Heath Ledger, who was one of my favorite actors, don't get me wrong. But still, I do not know why they decided just come up with this weird idea for a brand new villain for Superman 3. I mean, seriously, if Gene Hackman if Gene Hackman had to choose whether or not to do whatever he was doing at the time or do Superman 3, if I were him, I would want to do Superman 3. Why? Because, like I keep saying, you cannot make a Superman movie if Lex Luthor is not the villain. I mean, seriously. Superman has battled Lex Luthor time after time, and I know every time Superman wins and blah 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 blah, who cares? But still, even though it's one of the most repetitive things about the Superman movies or even the TV shows, we don't care. We want to see Lex Luthor come up with a brand new idea to get rid of Superman for good, and we always want to see him fail. Right? Exactly. But do we get this in Superman 3? No, we don't. But of course, there is one thing about Superman 3 that I did enjoy, but it wasn't Richard Pryor. It was the whole good, evil Superman thing with the weird black kryptonite or whatever it was. It was actually pretty cool. I mean, they were trying to actually make kryptonite for crying out loud, and even though it didn't end up working exactly like they wanted, the overall effect they had in Superman was actually not that bad. But still, Superman 3 definitely just ticked me off. I mean, yeah, I know it's been a while since I've seen it, but honestly, why they had to make a movie like this, I don't know. But thankfully, they got Lex Luthor back for Superman 4, which sadly would be the last time Christopher Reeve would ever play Superman. But hey, at least I got to see him in Smallville before he died, which kind of sucks, but oh well, who cares. But still, Superman 3, even though there are a lot of things about it I don't like, are just still, I don't know. There are some things about it I like, some things about it I don't like. It was just freaking insane. Ugh. But what can I say? I mean, Annette O'Toole as Lana Lang, she was great. As a matter of fact, she later wanted to play Clark Kent's mom in Smallville. Yeah. She wanted to play Martha Kent in Smallville. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But still, Superman 3, well, let's just say it's an okay movie. Not one of the best sequels, but even though it's not the worst, it's just one of those ones that I have a hard time believing that they actually made it. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say. Talk to you guys when I get to Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. I decided to call it Superman 4, the movie that should have been Superman 3. Well, talk to you guys later.